My darling wife, Wendy, and I have been married for nearly 55 years, having met on voluntary service overseas in Nigeria in 1966. She is an honours graduate in modern languages from Birmingham University, and I an engineer. Our life together, with all its ups and downs, has been a shared experience on emotional and physical and intellectual level. We were unable to have children of our own, as it were, but had the pleasure and privilege of adopting two children, a boy David and a girl Celia, from babies 4 to 6 weeks old in 1980 and 83. We loved and have loved them dearly. And I can honestly say, and Wendy would agree with me, that we couldn't have been happier having them share the last 43 and 40 years of our lives. They too are married and have children. David has 2 girls, David to Jen, and they have 2 girls, Celia to Gary, and they have 2 boys, two girls, 8 and 5, and Celia and Gary, 2 boys, Dan and Ryan, 18 and 14. They too are delightful and well loved by their parents and us. 3 to 4 years ago, Wendy started to have lapses of memory, minor lapses of memory. At first we thought they were just senior moments, but then it was evident there was something more serious, as it were, and we went to the mental health clinic in Epsom in Surrey, where she was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. We started attending sessions, for want of a better word, at the Claygate and Thames Ditton community centres for couples in a similar position. I think both of us were shocked by the advanced state of many of the residents, clients, carees, or what you will. And I think we both went into a kind of denial that a similar thing might happen to Wendy. Wendy's condition progressively got worse, and she started attending the daily sessions for sufferers of Alzheimer's at the Thames Ditton Clinic. First 1 day a week, and then gradually 5 days a week. But these are really recreational sessions where professionals and volunteers encourage and manage games and pastimes for the attendees. But Wendy's needs started to become too much for the centre. The proportion of carers to carees there being about 1 to 5, and Wendy's progressive tears and upsettedness was leading almost to a 1-to-1 need. I then started looking after Wendy at home almost exclusively with the help of carers from each of 2 separate agencies. This added to my own distress of the costs of such care, which were running at several £1,000s a month. While we had sufficient savings and assets in our house to provide for our own retirement and as a legacy for our children and grandchildren, this additional burden on top of the emotional and, dare I say, the physical one, because while Wendy did not lose her physical attractiveness for me, it was clearly impractical for us to have a mutually agreeable physical relationship. Though not leading to a clinical depression on my part, the 3-way split, or the 3-way push-pull relationship of the physical, the emotional and the financial pressures were having a toll on me, while Wendy was herself becoming gradually detached from ordinary daily life. These pressures were these 3 pressures were not having a good effect on me. I have to admit that I was, despite exhortations from others that I needed to be there for Wendy, to be considerate of her illness, my inherent analytical approach to life's trials made it difficult for me to understand this, and I saw Wendy's irrational behaviour as almost being willful. That's cruel and unfeeling, I know, but it was real in my part, on my part, because of Wendy's behaviour and movement and constant movement in the night. We moved into separate beds on the upper floors of our house, and we drifted more and more apart on the emotional level, I have to admit. Wendy, by this stage, was starting to need help with washing, with cleaning, after she went to the loo, which I found, contrary to what I might have thought previously, I was quite able to do. Started to have a carer for longer periods, but with the risk of Wendy falling increasing, the periods of care started to go up and become costly, approximately £10,000 to £12,000 a month. This added to my worries, and in consultation, I suppose, with other carers in a similar position at the focus group meeting, the monthly focus group meeting we had at the community centre, I started exploring the possibilities of Wendy going into a care home.